Ladies and gentlemen, your favorite white colonizing Zionist prince coming to you live from the United States of America. We got a clip from Mudar Zharan. Let's take a look.
Mudar Zharan is the Secretary General for the Jordanian Opposition Coalition, coming to us right now from London. Thanks for joining on the program. Look, it appears that there's immense pressures on Jordan right now from every direction. How uniquely, though, does the fall of Assad affect Jordan now?
Well, first of all, the proximity between the Hashemite regime and the Assad regime was incredible. They're basically like Siamese twins. First of all, both regimes held incredibly strong ties to Iran. Despite what the King of Jordan keeps saying, his real alliance, his real friendship and interest is with Iraq and Iran. Iraq gives him free oil and so forth. A lot with the other Arab countries, which in the Gulf, which are aligned with Iran, like Qatar. That said, Jordan now is facing a huge challenge because the Palestinian majority in Jordan, as well as the so-called Bedouin minority, or all Jordanians in general, have watched another very strong regime fall at the border. So a domino effect has taken place. In addition, the Hashemite regime, the king, has not helped himself. He managed to basically provoke all the people with his lifestyle, lavish lifestyle, and incredible poverty in Jordan increasing over the next 5 years in particular. In addition,
sorry, Mudar, just to cut you off, as is the case in pretty much the entire Arab Islamic world, minus a few countries, it's pretty much this is the status quo.
The fact that he was openly communicating with Iran. Remember, most Jordanians are Sunnis, and they watched him visiting Iran and his senior officials visiting Iran. It was very provocative for them. In addition, most important,
because Muslims hate each other, if you didn't know.
Many questions at the borders between Israel and Jordan. Basically, the smuggling of the weapons in a police state like Jordan cannot, at best, it's either that the Jordanian intelligence is failing to do its job. At worst, it's the Jordanian intelligence getting involved in the smuggling, and this is not an accusation because there has been evidence in the past, 3 occasions of evidence publicized in the media of the Jordanian intelligence cooperating and selling weapons to ISIS. So it is what they call in Hebrew a big balagan about to happen in Jordan. The Israelis are concerned, and here I want to, as a Jordanian, I want to make something very clear. Every time we get into a mess, whether we like it or not, whether we hate Israel or not, whether we hate Jews or not, the ones who come to our rescue are the Israelis. Jordan is a very fragile regime. Jordan is a royal family of less than 50 individuals ruling a majority Palestinians who hate their guts. The reason the regime has held on and stability in Jordan has been kept all those years is because of Israel. At the same time, you don't cut or you don't bite the hand that feeds you, and I'm afraid that's what the Jordanian government, the king, has been doing lately. I hate to use this term, but the fat lady has not sunk yet. What happened in Syria is going to happen other places. I think my country, Jordan, is the most likely next place, and the Israelis are now wondering what will be next.
Look, in terms of that, you bring the Palestinian issue, which...
Mudar Zharan is starting to grow on me a little bit. He's starting to grow on me. This is my 3rd time reacting to a video of his. He's really starting to grow on me.
Given the Palestinian majority in Jordan, I know this is a central issue, perhaps the most inflammatory, is the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Look, in the West Bank, in Gaza, we've seen political leadership go through an earthquake this year, we could say. But Abbas is still hanging on, President Abbas hanging on. How much do issues on the other side of the Jordan River in Israel affect what's taking place in Jordan?
Well, I can tell you what's happening right now. The Jordanian, and this is one of the best kept secrets, they are incredibly capable in what you call the West Bank. The intelligence has a huge grip, Jordanian influence and intelligence on Eastern Jerusalem and the refugee camps, particularly Jenin and Tol Karim and Balata near Shechem or Nablus. So those militants, right now are having a confrontation with Abbas, and I can sum it up in one sentence, with no conspiracy theories. The first time Palestinian militants got killed 9 months ago fighting the IDF, when their funeral, the Jordanian flags were played. The Jordan the Jordan you see in television is not exactly the way the king and his intelligence roll. Bottom line is, Israel is expecting the worst in Jordan, preparing for the best, but also expecting the worst. Stay tuned. This is going to be quite a show in Jordan. On my side, we're doing all we need to make sure that Jordan will remain stable, to make sure that we come into power when the king is gone, not Al Julani or any of those, Islamists. And one of the things that's really alarming in Jordan at the moment is the magnitude of the anti-Semitic propaganda, which is being operated and run by the king's own media, inciting against Israel, calling for jihad, calling for protest against the Israeli embassy, with very little response from the Palestinian majority or our Bedouin or so-called Bedouin East Banker brothers. Protest against the Israeli embassy, the Jordanian police would literally open the highways, open the roads to the Israeli embassy. The Israeli Jordanian media would call for protest against Israel and so forth, and less than 1,000 people would show up. The king is in a predicament. He doesn't know what to do. And to be honest with you, historically, Israel cannot save every regime they want to save. So we're looking at quite a change in Jordan.
Oh, fascinating. A lot to process, a lot to chew on.
Mudar Zharan, I like his posturing for taking control of Jordan. I don't know if it'll actually work, but I do like the rhetoric coming from him on how he sees the future of Jordan as Palestine. And sort of giving control to Palestinians there, maybe a new homeland for Palestinians. This isn't to snub my Jordanian friends, which I have, who are Hashemite, and because they are a little bit more open to Israel. It's not to snub you. It's just saying, like, from a certain perspective, you're not from there. Your roots come from Saudi Arabia. You don't really have a claim to the Levant, and you are kind of colonizing that land by having this random Hashemite kingdom in the middle of the Levant. It's like not really moral. Especially when the Palestinians are searching for a homeland, quote unquote. You're occupying their homeland. The one thing that I can take from Mudar Zharan's narrative is that everything we see in the Arab world there's more to it. It's very confusing, and it's not clean cut. None of it is organized, and none of it makes sense. It's all just a fucking mess. It's a bunch of fuckery. So it's our job, as we're trying to understand what we're seeing in the Arab world, to try to decipher the truth. But you have to take everything you see with a grain of salt. There's so much propaganda, and there are so many parties from the outside trying to influence in. And the reality is, it's a mess, and everyone hates each other. Muslims hate each other, Arabs hate each other, and they're all trying to actively undermine and kill one another. And then you just have us Jews in the middle like, hey, can we just fucking survive? Can we breathe for a second and stop murdering each other? Jesus Christ, like, just 5 minutes. 5 minutes, try to be normal human beings. Look at the rest of the world. Just try to calm down. We could have it so good. Just try to be normal. But we can't, because we're in the Middle East, and this is what it is. God bless. I love our region. I wouldn't want it any other way. I mean, I want it another way, but I don't want our people to change too much, because I love us, but we're also a bunch of psychopaths. Anyways, I love you guys. Long time. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. If you believe in my content and want to support me, just know your help is needed. There's a bunch of great ways to support me, being PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or joining my Patreon community down below. Patreon is the best way to support my channel, and you'll get a bunch of cool perks depending on what tier you join. Another great way to support me is by buying my merchandise on thetravelingclat.com. I regularly drop new merch designs like this beautiful hat, or this amazing shirt, where you can support the channel and get something cool for yourself. I also have an amazing Discord community with people from all over the world. Thank you so much for your support.